where I want to discuss some issues on what you can expect in semester test 1. So now you are going to have to write it online. So the way, and this is just in terms of the submissions that I will expect from you. Snippet. Yes, I will do that again. I will do that in general or in Ask Elizabeth. Okay. Right, so if I now have the test, there will be 2 places where you will have to submit stuff. There will be the test canvas, just like when you're busy writing your online tests, where you will just have answers that you have to fill in. And I can understand this is horribly scary, because if you have something wrong, there's 10 marks associated with that answer, and 10 marks and 20 marks, and boom, one answer gone, everything 0 marks. And that indeed applies for the online test, but you have a chance to apply for method marks afterwards. For the semester test, I still employ this test canvas, and there are answers there that you have to submit, and indeed it will give you a 0 there if your answer is wrong. However, you will have an assignment tab, where you will have to submit all the following documents. Written work, PDF. Okay, so that I'm sure you are all at this stage comfortable with using something like CAM Scanner or whatever to convert all your written work to a single PDF document. And so written work. Some of you have time to type really well annotated notebooks. That will also be accepted, but please be careful. Rather print some in-between values like Ergon constants so that I can see, oh, you've got that correct at least. Or in your written work, how did you prorate for that? So written work, PDF, that I will open to when I'm busy marking your test. Then I want a PDF version of your code, not HTML. Not HTML, a PDF version. ClickUp complains when you want to upload an HTML version. So please, if you are not sure on how to generate a PDF version of your code, go to Ask Elizabeth so that other students can advise you, or I can tell you how I do it, but you need to be able to have a PDF version of your code uploaded. Then I also want the notebook version. So I want lots of submissions under that assignment tab. All of them must be linked to you. So you need to give me your surname and your initials. That's the most important part. That will give you a unique submission if you use your surname and your initials followed by your student number. So let me just explain how I mark then. I open the test canvas. I see, 0, 0, 0. Sorry, you've got 0 for your test. I don't leave it at that. I download all these documents to a folder, and I search for your surname. And if there are multiple surnames like De Tooy, and I've got 3 De Tooys in the class, then I go to the initials. And if the initials are the same, then I look for the student number. I open all the documents that's associated with your work, the PDF documents, not the code at this stage, not the code. And I go through it to see how I can allocate method marks. In the feedback block on your test, I will type how and why I allocated your marks, and I will change the 0 from a 5 or a 2 or a whatever. So there will be method marks allocated for the different questions. The notebook files, I only run if I really think, yes, you couldn't get to this answer using this notebook file, this PDF that you submitted, and then I check whether you are trying to fool me. But I also submit them to MOS, the software similarity measurement. And I understand that it must be horrible to feel that you are policed like this, but I do this for the sake of the integrity of your degree. So I submit the notebook files to MOS, and it automatically detects similarities in code. I realize that if I now post a code snippet on Dense Output, everybody's going to use that. So I will, if I notice that, yes, it's similar because everybody uses the TUT file that I uploaded for suggestions. I am not going to penalize you on this, but if I see that there are definitely a cause for investigating plagiarism based on your MOS similarity index, I will definitely not hesitate to do that. So please don't risk it at this stage of your journeys in your final years. No, so this, I need a notebook. So if I don't get this notebook to send to MOS, I do not mark your test. Happy with that? Well, not happy, but live with it. So please, that's why I'm so adamant in the correct naming. I open all these documents associated with your test while I'm busy giving you method marks. Okay, let me just open okay. I reuse base codes. You mean that, yeah, so if you have a code available for that, for an Ergen equation, and you want to you want to just copy and paste that, of course that will be taken into account. But when I start seeing, it's really, that MOS thing is, I am actually amazed and scared by how accurate it is in finding value. So don't feel that you need to restart. If you've got some code from previous stats that you've done, that you can copy and paste and use, do that. And I will really be I will not accuse you of plagiarism before making really sure that you didn't use a certain base code that I was not aware of. So Luca posted a snippet. Oh yeah, that's what you said. Could we not switch the mark feedback off? Semi-decent remainder of the day. I don't understand that. Do we write student number? Oh, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. I'm not that clever as that to automatically do that. I use my eyes. So I think most of the students, I haven't done a study yet, but I think it will be unique enough if you just give your surname and your initials. But for safety, just supply me with the student number. Doesn't matter whether you use S or whatever. So just Luca, what do you mean? Mark feedback off. Is that your chat message? Okay. Let me just quickly make this so that it says, oh yes. Okay, I understand. Of course I do that. So you will be required in this test canvas. In this test, yes, me too. I wouldn't enjoy that. So in that test canvas, what I do, let me just get a pencil, is there will be a question where you will have to promise me that it's true, that you know, you're aware. You will have to type something. So there will be a short answer block that I will ask you to say, where you have to type that you confirm this is your own work, you didn't help anyone. And if there's something that needs to be typed in that, it automatically wants me to check that tick box and give you a grade for that, which is full marks is going to be 0, but without confirming that you are not plagiarizing anything. So I have to grade that, so it will show needs grading. It's not going to be like the online test where you immediately say, oh, boom, bam, 0. It will be marked and commented before the marks are returned to you. Yeah, shame. You've got tough lives. All right. What else? Any questions on the semester test? How long will we have for the test? That's a very good question. I haven't decided yet because I haven't said that. So please, I must also have some work to do over the weekend to bake you a fresh semester test. But I take cognizance of the fact that uploading and preparing all these documents can take quite a while. So I will give you some extra time to allow for uploading these documents. So you will get much longer than a typical 1.5 hour semester test, but not too long. So the problem, you will not get a day. You will get 3 hours or so, a TUT session typically. The length of a TUT session typically to do the test, which I expect you to be able to complete the test in, let's say, if I expect you to complete the test in 2 hours, I will give you 30 minutes extra to prepare the documents and to upload the documents. And of course, I will be available in Slack. I will be monitoring Slack if there's any issues in the test, and if you've got any questions that you need to ask. There may be more than one test, so the questions may not be applicable to all. Yeah, so Natasha, I'm not sure about the time, but I will give you 30 minutes extra for preparing and uploading. Do you think 30 minutes is enough for preparing and uploading stuff? Does it? Okay, thank you. Right, so there was a other question there. Gareth asked, notebook instead of 3 when trying to submit. No, so in the assignment, nothing. The assignment portal in ClickUp. So Francois asked if you have a notebook that, remember I want the PDF of that notebook there now. So if you type, and you can type fancy equations, and it takes you shorter to type stuff in your notebooks. It's not going to complain. So there's no limit to the amount of files that you upload under the assignment tab. So if you would like separate notebooks for all your different questions, that's fine. So you can submit lots of files under a single attachment, 1 or 2. So ClickUp won't notice that you didn't submit the notebook code, but I will. So I search for it, and I search for your name. And yeah, of course, if you forget to name it correctly, I will go into ClickUp and make sure that didn't you maybe misname because you were stressed. But it just takes me so long that I would really appreciate it if you can use the naming protocol so it's easy for me to search your work. So it's not going to be an issue. There's not going to be a complaint about the number of files. Okay, more questions? Sure, so finally we can head to our groups in the TUTS. The TAs are waiting, they're wondering what happened to all of you. So head to your groups in the TUTS, just tell the TAs that you're there by reacting to their questions, and then if you're done with this TUT, or help your friends out with the other TUTs, do the sensitivity analysis, use it as a lab. Yeah, one last thing on the semester test. I had questions. Will it include the equilibrium reactions that we're going to do next week? Yes, it will. So we are going to have enough time in the TUT to do the problem. So for the last theme 5 part 6, which is the reversible reaction. So it will include that content as well. Okay, stopping the recording.